Hello and welcome to our What's Right with Schools special. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laura Hutchinson. All year I've been visiting schools and talking to students doing some pretty amazing things. Today we're bringing you their stories, like students in Branford putting away the cell phones to instead put pen to paper, all while developing new friendships.
I'm back. So nice to meet you.
They're meeting for the first time, but this is no group of strangers.
I got matched up with a really cool guy. His name is Mike, and he played like 3 instruments. He was really cool.
They know each other after months of writing to one another. Yes, I said writing, putting pen to paper for a good old-fashioned pen pal.
Every month, the kids write a letter. We send it to the seniors. Seniors write a letter, send it back to the kids, and we go back and forth through the school year.
There's a twist. These Canoe Brook seniors are helping these young Branford students learn a skill that's not taught much in schools anymore: cursive.
I like helping them with something that I feel is very important.
A bonding and learning experience for everyone.
As the year went on, she did great. And she did tell me her mom helped her, which I think is wonderful.
I use my brain instead of just typing. It's more fun, to be honest.
And extra special as they meet for the first time at Walsh Intermediate School.
Here's a journal for you, so you can practice your cursive like we do with the line.
Even exchanging gifts, the gift of writing.
Enjoy. Thank you. You're very welcome, sweetie.
Love that. Stretching, dancing, taking a day out of the busy school routine for those who make it all happen during the school year. Now we're heading to East Hartford, where Wellness Day is saying thank you.
They're shaking, moving, dancing to the beat. It's a school day, but you'll notice no students here.
I actually just painted a picture of a lotus. We played some games. We're laughing with some friends.
It's Wellness Day, Connecticut River Academy in East Hartford, and this one is for teachers and staff.
We take a moment on this day in March to give our staff an opportunity to really refresh, re-energize, and recharge their batteries for the rest of the year.
A day to get the heart pumping before slowing down for some stretching and relaxation. Stations set up throughout the school, giving staff a variety of activities to choose from.
And as they move about the different stations, they may run into a few four-legged friends for a few added smiles and a little extra comfort.
The day brings educators and staff from all the Goodwin University magnet schools together to socialize and have a much-needed break from the day-to-day.
I did some stretching and strength class, and now we're doing puzzles. I went for a walk down by the river. It was very nice.
1 and go.
Recharging the battery,
holding for 30 seconds
before getting back to the grind.
We look forward to being together, laughing, getting prepared for our families next week at conferences.
A special treat built into the school calendar each year to say thank you.
We end with the ice cream truck because, you can only be so healthy.
Now let's talk about art. It's typically part of the curriculum in schools, but one school has turned it into an opportunity to build confidence and bring out the best in students.
Outsider, this may look like an art gallery in a school. And while you wouldn't be wrong, at the CREC John J. Allison Jr. Polaris Center in East Hartford, it's much more.
What you see here is all about peace. You see dream.
It's about giving students a chance to step out of their comfort zone and feel celebrated as their hard work makes the display.
They'll say, oh, my work is not good enough, but then when it gets put up in a gallery like this, it changes them. I can remember one student, and his work was featured in the middle of the room, and he said, Mrs. Brucey, I didn't expect this. It's beautiful.
I like people to see my art because it makes me feel happy.
It's amazing how students can be handed the same simple materials and create something totally unique. If you look closely here, this is made up of coffee filters. They each got coffee filters, water paint, and look what they created.
Then I finished with this, with the little details of a little brush. And I used watercolors, which was purple, green, blue, and all that.
And there's a reason the pieces combine so much of their individual work into one.
The theme was stronger together and weaker alone.
This one and this one, they're skin tones created by each person in the school and woven together.
Everyone in this school the staff, the principal, the vice principal, the custodians, everybody skin tones is on the wall.
Celebrating differences, a space to grow as a person.
Whatever emotion I'm really feeling, like if I'm feeling anger or sadness or happiness, like I just put it into my art. I love the idea of peace because it's just the world needs more of it.
Now, talking technology and how it's changing the landscape of so many things in our daily life in Glastonbury. That includes the canvas in art class.
Just take a look at what you just completed.
Art classes are not just about putting pencil to paper. While students continue to lay the groundwork of their creativity, they're snapping photos, scrolling tablets, and taking on new machinery.
Instead of making it just purely a traditional class, we pull in some technology to make it so, I mean, it's relevant. So like if they wanted to go into illustration or design, it's something that they have some experience using Adobe suite programs.
Entry-level art classes at Glastonbury High School, introducing digital programs and a new way of offering critiques.
Sometimes we will take photos of our artwork, and the whole class actually adds to a Google slide, and we can add comments on each other's pages just to see, you know, what the whole class can improve on.
This class really allows the students to be creative. One criteria, they all needed to design something to hold a plant of this size. And look around the room, you can see they all went in very different directions.
This is a plant prism.
Built with a creative mind and specialized machinery.
For sure the glow forge, because I've never seen something like that before until I got into this class, so it was really cool. It cuts with a laser, so it's laser cuts this whole thing into whatever you wanted.
Entry-level classes, advancing traditional artwork from the start.
Now let's talk about when an idea becomes a reality. With the support of school leaders, big things can happen. Go ahead and throw in your dancing shoes for this one, but don't tie them.
Meet Derby Middle Schooler Jack Boughton. He's clearly got a knack for music. And he dreams big.
I would love to go around the world playing music.
And you could say he got his start thanks to a band teacher noticing that spark.
He noticed my playing style and he was like, what if you could find some people to form a band? And then the three of us just kind of came together.
Now Jack, Miles, and Carlos are better known around these halls as Untied Shoes because, well...
So it's like Untied Shoes. It sounds like a good name, not too edgy, not too bland, I guess.
Most of the time I wear them tied just because I like them stationary on my feet, but whenever we're playing live, I definitely untie my shoes.
And it's more than just three kids playing together. School leaders have embraced them, ordering merchandise, putting them in for important occasions.
What we have is called Rise Rallies each quarter, so when we celebrate our students, their academic success, the band plays, and the kids absolutely love the fact that we have like our own rock band.
Kicking up the school spirit, building a fan base among their own peers.
It shows that they support us and they like our music.
Encouraged to reach for the stars and express themselves.
It's almost another way to like show like yourself.
And it's what's right with schools.
I hope it just continues to show students that if they have an idea, that ideas are great, bring them forward, and we'll support them in anything that their hopes and dreams are. And that's our role and responsibility.
Love that. Let's keep going. From theaters to restaurants, art galleries, and homes, New Haven is full of learning opportunities, and students are taking advantage.
Talk about an opportunity most people will never have.
This is one of our dressing rooms.
ACE's Wintergreen Interdistrict Magnet School students getting the backstage treatment at the historic Schubert Theater, where so many well-known actors have performed.
This is what it looked like to Julie Andrews. This is what she saw.
Even stepping foot onto the iconic stage.
Not as many people get to do this, and so much famous people have come here. It's just so cool.
We're calling it Summer of Arts Immersion.
Students for 1 week visiting attractions like this and merchants around New Haven to take their learning experience to the next step.
At the same time, students are behind the scenes at the theater. Some of their peers are right next door recreating Taft apartments.
We're going to make 3D models
of the task. I'm looking for lots of like arches and lots of pillars and mostly detail so that I can kind of like incorporate that in the 3D model, and it would definitely I think it's gonna look amazing.
Hands-on learning immersed in a historic city.
The journaling class, creative writing class, they're going to be right down the street as well too at the Yale Art Gallery. We have Catalina's Bakery, who the animation class is going to visit, and then they'll be animating some of their desserts.
A summertime opportunity that's local and unique.
We have Mean Girls coming, we got Dear Evan Hansen, Tina Turner, story about Tina Turner.
There are still so many great stories to get to today. Just ahead, aiming for the sky. The project so important. Students are working on it even after they graduate. And from the air to the water, how students are spending a day out on the Sound when we come back. Welcome back. You're going to love this. A project so important, it took 3 years to complete, and it was worth the wait. As students hit peak altitude, we're heading to Stratford, where they flew a plane built with their own hands.
Clear skies and excitement in the air.
Make sure that light is good.
Clipping in. And the green light
Experimental 1 Tango 5
for takeoff.
We're all set to go.
Bassick High School students wheels up, piloting a plane that they built. An especially proud moment for Stephen Bloom, shop teacher at Bassick High in Bridgeport, who took on this 3-year project to build a real plane with his students from scratch.
This is a big deal. And these are my kids, my auto kids. And I turned them into aircraft mechanics.
News 8 checking in on the progress March of last year.
I want to finish all of this just to fly. I'm actually excited to do it.
It was more than a class project for then student Tiani Perez. She was determined to overcome a life challenge. Now she's a high school grad, and we got to see her cross the finish line at 3 Wing Aviation at Sikorsky Airport.
I'm dyslexic, so I didn't think this was gonna be that big for me, and it is. It took my whole future. I'm beyond excited for what awaits for me.
There's a lot that makes this special, but to add to it all, it's the only school in Connecticut to do it, and you better believe they're going to do it again. In fact, the next plane is already half finished.
The planes are being built for Tango Flight, an aerospace school in Texas.
Tango supplies all the material, tools, whatever I need. They pay for everything. We build the planes for them.
An exciting partnership for the school turned once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the students.
Going out feels very peaceful and calm.
And their proud families.
When I woke up, I was like, Tiani, it's your big day.
The first group to complete the mission.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, that was so much fun. Now from the air to the water, Connecticut sits along the shoreline, and yet many people living here have no idea how to navigate the water safely. Some students are trying to change that. Grab your life vest for a day on the Sound with students from Groton.
Hello.
Off the bus and into a life vest.
Follow the channel out.
All aboard for a day on the Sound.
On the water is a pretty calming place for me since I've grown up on it. And just like having the wheel, it's like, it kind of feels like natural, and like it's just a calming experience for me.
The captains of this powerboat, Groton's Marine Science Magnet High School students, earning their powerboat certification under the guidance of instructors from the New England Science and Sailing Foundation, although really learning much more.
They're having to work together, they're learning about navigation, so they're learning science, they're learning about the mechanics of how a boat works and what tides are all about.
And they're not alone out here.
Oh, there's a ton of them just behind us, following us.
Learning to boat safely around a major seal colony.
I think they want to see if we go fishing, see if they can steal a catch.
Navigating the water this time of year tends to be particularly challenging because we're just coming off the winter months. Winter storms tend to move things around a little bit. So the students and teachers really need to relearn the water and, more importantly, what's below it.
I never really paid like a ton of attention before, but like now I know like what a bunch of like the different channel markings mean.
Reading the landmarks and the water.
It's a tricky channel and tricky navigation.
Learning to navigate safely and doing it as a team.
Just
getting out of the classroom and be able to go out on the water with my friends.
From start to finish, Stonington Point to Fisher's Island and Little Narragansett Bay back home.
The culmination of every trip, the most nerve-wracking thing for all the students, we're in a dock.
Now taking a trip around the world, still ahead, the local gymnasium getting quite a transformation. And how students are using a childhood toy to build a program that could transform our future when we come back. Welcome back. The building blocks for success. Students taking a child's toy and turning it into the future of package delivery. We're heading to East Hartford for this next story.
How could we move them away so it's not a person doing it?
They're moving, grabbing, and sorting. You can see these are no ordinary Lego creations. The students at the Craig Academy of Computer Science and Engineering Middle School in East Hartford taking a childhood toy to build and program what could be our future.
Sometimes they walk in like, oh, we're using Legos. No, this is robotics. This is the beginning of robotics and, you know, potentially a career in the future.
This is an Amazon Future Engineer School, meaning they work closely with the world's largest retailer and are using Lego Spike Prime kits to build robots that may be useful.
What's amazing is they've come up with real ideas here that could make actual package delivery services work more efficiently.
It looks at these bricks that you can put on this platform, and it uses a color sensor to detect what color it is and put it in a specific position, like depending on that color. I guess it means knowing what's inside of a package and a robot picking that up and putting it in the specific area that it needs to be.
From sorting to storing packages, they're coming up with new ideas and having fun with it.
Legos are nostalgic for me. I used to play with them as a kid, make things out of them.
Now making what could be our future in delivery services.
Now turning a hobby that's sometimes met with criticism into a real career opportunity. That's exactly what students in Enfield are doing.
From a game room to the classroom, a hobby at home making its way into schools. Yep, you're seeing this right. These students at Computer Science High School in Enfield are all playing video games. You may be asking yourself what kind of learning can possibly be happening.
A lot of our kids here are avid gamers, and I like to connect their hobbies also to their academic life.
E-Labs instructor Jasmine Walston tapping into their potential as they play these games together.
I learned more about like team building because we would have team meetings on Tuesdays. It's more of working with people you don't normally play with.
You'll hear this is anything but a quiet room, but that's what teachers are looking for. They want to hear what the students are saying and are interested in so they can tap into that potential.
Like, okay, you're really cool about like the frames per second. That's math, you know, so you're probably going to want to do a little bit more analytics and stuff like that. You're probably really good with numbers. Some of our kids are so fun. Their commentary is so fun. I was like, you could go into game and journalism.
Or like 10th grader Isaac Forbes, who they've already discovered has a gift for cybersecurity.
They gave me a secured environment that I can test how secure it is and what weaknesses there are.
These matches all being recorded as they seek out scholarships or future opportunities. A fun class period where hobbies are supported and seen as an opportunity for growth.
Now taking a trip around the world, it's an annual event students, parents, and teachers all look forward to each year in Kensington.
The music, the food. Pack your bags. We're going on an adventure. Our first stop, we're heading south to Georgia.
Coca-Cola was invented there, Chick-fil-A, and it's very known for peaches because of the wide variety of peaches that are grown there.
Aubrey Mayano and her St. Paul's School peers transforming their Kensington gymnasium into a trip around the world. It's their highly anticipated travel fair they spend months preparing for, and families have come to look forward to.
I've had parents say, you know, oh, we don't have a sibling in middle school this year, we miss it, and so it's fun because the whole family learns along the way.
Each student picks a country or state, diving into the food, bon appetit, the culture, recreation, and whatever else they're interested in finding out.
The initial learning came with their own presentations, but now the fun part, walking around and taking in what all their peers did in their own presentations.
3D presentations with an authentic feel.
They love baseball and they smoke a lot of Cuban cigars.
7th grader Adam Alvarez is taking us to Cuba.
My dad originally came from Cuba, so he was born there. At age 6, he moved out of Cuba, and that's actually his house.
You learned a lot about your dad in the process, too.
Yeah.
Researching, exploring, inspiring.
I want to go here one day.
Taking a trip around the world without actually leaving Kensington, Connecticut.
And just ahead, as our What's Right with School special continues, students learning life-saving measures. The class is taught by a fire chief as students study in specialized academies. And cooking up food for real customers in class, the school restaurant run by the students. Saving lives, earning certifications, and learning from the best in the community. Students in New Britain getting some hands-on experience.
It may look like these students have the qualifications to save a life, and you may not be that far off. A mock ambulance in a classroom for EMS training, police and fire. Some classes even taught by New Britain's fire chief himself.
We actually put them in firefighting gear. We'll do evolutions with them where they have to rescue a mannequin, where they have to search, find, and extricate someone from a building with the lights off.
Intense training that's all part of the curriculum at New Britain High School, where students are given the choice to study in specialized academies.
The 4 academies are public safety, health and sciences, MET, which is manufacturing, education, and technology, and then public safety.
District leaders say give students a chance to earn college credit, saving them time and money in the future, while students say it's a taste of reality during the school day.
For the police course, we were able to do handcuffing, we were able to do shrunk goggles and stuff, so that was really fun, being able to experience some of the stuff the police do on a regular basis.
In manufacturing, creating pieces you'd think take years of training.
They're getting experience working in traditional and high-tech manufacturing labs, and this really has support of businesses in the community. In fact, many of them have donated the equipment for their use.
In addition to college credits, earning certifications in medical or education fields.
They also can get certified to be a paraeducator through our programs. They come back, they speak to other students who are in the program all the time.
Now students in Danbury getting a major head start in a career in construction. Take a look at how they're already building the blocks for success.
It's not every day students can work right alongside professionals in their field of choice. But for Henry Abbott Technical High School students in Danbury, they're not only working alongside them at the Carpenters Union Hall in Wallingford, they're joining them.
For the first time, we have a group of technical students from Abbott Tech being part of our apprenticeship program and really getting more exposure to the commercial construction industry is doing.
Some of these students have already been accepted into the union. Gina Barrier is one of them. She hopes to start her own remodeling company someday, and this is a step toward that dream.
Being a woman in trade, it's a little scary, but you gotta have confidence. So.
And you do belong here.
Yeah, and I have a lot of confidence. I think I'm gonna do pretty well.
Students walked in here today knowing it's not just a regular day in the workshop. They're learning real-life skills alongside union leaders they could team up with one day. Senior Nate Green says this is a real opportunity to grow.
I believe doing this, it's networking, because I am going to try to apply and get into college, and I am going to go play, and I'm going to play college football, but I can still be in the union. I can work here in the summer.
Hands-on construction training, building a future while still in high school.
Now, how about a student project that's still giving back years after the student who started it graduated and moved on? We're heading to Coventry.
It's great to see his students so motivated to actually maintain this.
You could call it a homecoming for Alex Bohr. He graduated from Coventry High School 7 years ago, but still pops in every now and again to see how this is doing.
This is a geodesic dome. Basically, it's an oversized greenhouse.
Right in the middle of the school's courtyard, a dome he created for a school project all those years ago and is still being used today.
It just helps to grow plants year-round. Just like any typical greenhouse you can find anywhere and everything, we just made it into more of a hardened facility and everything that allows us to work in it year-round.
It's not only working, it's thriving. They've even created classroom curriculum around maintaining it.
My whole life we've had gardens at my house, so being able to come here and basically use what I already know and learn so much more, it's very fun.
While the structure of the dome is as it was 9 years ago when it was created, what's inside keeps changing. The students really have the chance to get creative with what they choose to grow.
I love tomatoes and cucumbers, and those are doing so well in there.
Everything uses everything, like nothing's wasted.
It's really just a matter of learning the different pieces and parts, how to take care of the fish, how to take care of the plants, when to plant your seeds, the temperatures, the amount of sunshine, all of the different things that go into making your aquaponics system successful.
What's grown is fresh and even used in the school's cafeteria, teaching students about growing their own healthy food.
I'd feel better that I'm like eating stuff that I'm like making.
Learning how the world works and how one student's idea can have an impact.
I just like to come back, look at it, and just admire what these students are actually continuing doing to this greenhouse today.
To think that one student was able to create this whole thing is crazy.
All right, I hope you're hungry because it's time to get a bite to eat now. And in this next school, the kitchen is open.
The stove is hot. The kitchen is busy.
Sandwich, turkey wrap.
And there are hungry customers ready to be served.
This is the Rising Star Cafe. We are open to the public.
A restaurant totally run by students at AI Prince Technical High School in Hartford, in the back of the house and the front.
It feels like an actual job when I do this, but it's okay.
They're serving students, staff, even the general public can come in or order takeout. Today's special?
We are having a little prefix menu that's going on. It's like $8 per person.
The operation here really is self-funded. The customers are actually paying for the meal and the service. The students, however, aren't getting paid. They're learning. Oh, thank you so much. May I have a little bit more water, please? Thanks, Isaiah. So the money they're bringing in becomes next year's budget.
Head of Culinary Arts at Prince Tech, Christina Tartaglino, says it gets busy and the learning opportunities are endless.
They've got knife skills, safety and sanitation. This is our senior class, and they are learning different international cuisines as well. The menu changes weekly. We also do seasonal items. So today we have corn bisque because we're just ending out corn season.
We're gonna make a pineapple barbecue salmon.
And our server today, Isaiah, is soaking it all up, taking notes when he's out in the real world.
When I go out there, I know what they're doing. Since I'm learning it here, I can see what they're doing out in the world. So when I see something, I'll be like, oh, I know how to make that because I learned it here in Prince Tech.
Job experience, basic and advanced cooking, and teamwork. It's all happening at the Rising Star Cafe.
Now from the cafe to the garden, this next school is growing ingredients and cooking up a great day ahead.
The kitchen is busy inside, taking and preparing orders, but it's what's happening outside that makes the Hive, a student-run cafe, so special.
We have a cucumber vine trestling through the middle of it, trying to grow a little bit more.
These East Haven high schoolers growing their own ingredients, building a menu around what's fresh.
We have butternut in here. We harvested the ones that were ripe on that. That's going in today's lunch.
It adds kind of like a homey element, like you pick out your garden and then you use it, like you cook for I'm thinking of it like that, like I have a garden at home, and then you can cook for your family. That's what I kind of think of it as.
They're amazed, when they come out here and they try it. We had fresh cucumbers and the girls wanted to make ranch dressing. They wanted to know if we had ranch dressing. I was like, we don't have bottled anything. You have to make it. And they got a recipe and they made it and they were dipping their cucumbers in it and they're like, this is the best cucumber I ever ate, or this is the best strawberry I ever had.
What's great is they're also doing companion planting out here, figuring out what grows best together to support the growth and keep unwanted guests away.
The marigold smell deters the groundhogs. They don't like it, so they stay away. So you protect your your plant.
Serving meals up fresh for students and teachers.
I tell the teachers that I made it, let me know how it tastes, because I want to know the feedback from the teachers and if they enjoyed it or not.
Taking pride in their work, working together as a team.
Oh, they cut up the stem.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, and then it goes, okay.
Getting graded on the effort and learning.
They make a mistake. That's okay with us. We want them to make a mistake because we learn so much from those mistakes.
Now, some of the youngest students learning how water flows through cities and towns and into our homes. That's just ahead. Plus, we'll take you out on the water for a special summer camp. And martial arts in an after-school program, how students are building confidence and learning a new skill. All right, time to put the books down and paddles in. Taking a break from the cold, getting a slice of summer with these next students who are out on the water in Collinsville.
Is everyone ready?
The boats are in.
You got it, you got it.
Life vests on.
Let's go!
Let the fun and summer learning begin.
And they come out here, they learn how to kayak, canoe, paddleboard. We play games, we explore the Farmington River. It's just a great way to get kids outside, get them moving. Learn a little bit about the river, the area around them.
It's the Children's Summer Program at Collinsville Canoe and Kayak, learning skills on the water, and yes, what to do if you go under.
I was trying to reach my paddle over, but I was a little too far away, so I was leaning and it just kind of flipped.
But perhaps some of the best learning disguised as a game.
Once we got into kayaks, we played sharks and minnows.
Yeah.
It helps me become more social, it improves my social skills.
It's not just the games and the life-saving skills on the water. They also get to get out and explore little beaches and islands where they can play manhunt and hide and seek like kids.
Even like over there's a beaver den, and we got to like see birds and all these different creatures and animals.
There's a lot to see out here you may not otherwise stop to notice.
If you see herons flying around, there's a bald eagle that lives right around the corner.
Keeping kids active and learning in the summer months, getting to know the environment in their own backyard.
Now we need it to survive, and we have fun playing with it in the summer, but where does our water actually come from? Some young kids in Milford are learning the answer to that question.
Raise your hand if you ever heard the word community before. Anyone heard it? Okay, good.
They're not even in kindergarten yet, and these little ones in Milford are already building a community, one colorful house at a time.
My house is pink and it's an apartment, and I did me playing at the bottom, and I did grass and a sun and a sky.
And around those houses, they're assembling pipes, all to help them understand how they get that precious water they love so much.
I go in the pool and I drink water.
The Whitney Water Center, the educational arm of the Regional Water Authority, making stops to our state's youngest at the Little White House Learning Center today in Milford to quench their thirst for learning about the world around them.
We want them to understand that it comes from a freshwater reservoir where it gets cleaned and then sent through the pipes where they turn on the sink and it comes out at their house. It just builds a knowledge base for them to be better environmental stewards. They go home, they talk to their families, and they bring those values into their homes.
To expand their reach throughout the school year, they'll even drop off these loan boxes. It's essentially a big bin filled with all the materials and directions a teacher may need to put together a fun, different lesson in water in their own classrooms.
These mini lessons on important life topics set the kids on an exciting path of learning for the day ahead.
When something like this happens, they're more creative in their play, and they'll incorporate some of the things that they learn. So you might see them building with linking logs today, and then incorporating how the pipes go to each of the communities. So it's nice to see that they're absorbing it and retaining that information.
Now traveling back in time, learning about those who roamed the earth before us. Here's a look at how students are learning all about dinosaurs.
Tiny little sharp teeth, tiny little rib bones, tiny little vertebrae down her back.
Kid-sized fun with our world's largest creatures.
Who doesn't love dinosaurs, and who doesn't love kids looking at dinosaurs?
Welcome to Dino in the Creek Week, an exciting collaboration in Branford.
And to know that this history is here, right here in our own communities.
To learn about those who were here before us.
I find them interesting. and how we don't really know everything about them still, and it's been like years.
7th grader Mackenzie Rooney is right. It's a dream for dinosaur lovers as there's still so much to discover.
There's a new discovery being made somewhere in the world every week, which is mind-blowing.
Mark Daniels' traveling dino museum moving all around the country, now transforming Stony Creek Museum to display artifacts millions of years old.
It held the Triceratops head on and allowed it to move.
What makes this extra special is it's really geared toward little kids who are used to walking into a museum and hearing, "Don't touch anything." Not here. This is a real hands-on learning experience for them.
I touched the dinosaur like insides of like the stomach-ish and some of the bone and horn. I learned that their feathers aren't actually really feathers, it's more like scales.
A collaboration with the museum, a local theater, and library to keep kids learning and creative this summer.
I'm really excited because I love science and I love dinosaurs.
Now to an after-school program that's getting kids up and moving and trying something new.
They're breaking boards and falling in line.
How do we show respect?
Earning a white belt and doing it with confidence. This may look like an experienced martial arts class, but these are local kids in an after-school program, burning off some steam and trying something new.
They have to go on chamber and like bring you like up and kick like that.
Pull, pull.
The best part, it's free.
There you go, very good.
A 4-week after-school program offered through Gabriel's Martial Arts in Waterford. They go to the different schools to make it convenient.
The vast majority of the schools welcome us with open arms, and they're excited that when we're there, teachers are saying that kids are more disciplined in the classroom and they're more well behaved. They're really starting to see the difference when they know it's a karate day.
Crisscross karate sauce, black belt listing stance, tiger stance. Ah, you moved!
At the end of the 4 weeks, parents are invited to the actual studio to see what the kids have learned.
It's not just kicking and punching for no reason. Like, we actually learn stuff that can be useful in our lives.
It made me feel like nothing could stop me and I should continue my martial arts journey.
Building confidence, learning a new skill, getting up and moving after a long school day.
Now, a building decades in the making. Just ahead as our special continues, we'll take you inside North Branford's brand new school and honoring a hero, how students are coming together to help a local veteran when we return. Now talking about new opportunities and a brand new building. Students in high school excited about big changes rolling out in North Branford, decades in the making.
Stop into North Branford High School today. It's nothing like it was a couple years ago.
It was a total breakdown, build up, rebuild from ground up.
The new state-of-the-art high school.
I've been here for 16 years, and we've been talking about it for probably 15 years.
Complete, finally open to students, and walk the halls, excitement is in the air.
It was incredible when we first got there because it was just so much cleaner, all the technology was newer. There was like a smell that you could tell was just different. It smelled like a new school.
Students and Superintendent Scott Schoonmaker giving News 8 a tour.
It's a college-like campus. It's really open, they're very inviting, the color schemes, the natural lighting.
Built bright with a focus on the fuel, the open concept kitchen serving up energy for the day ahead.
Cooking the meals in front of them, we do stir fries, and you can, personally make your pizza and have your pizza cooked right before your eyes, and kids love that. Food's important.
Outdoor learning spaces overlooking the grounds for a dose of fresh air.
Even if we're just doing the same kind of work we do inside, there's just something about it that really, brings it to life almost with the plants, but it just adds something to our learning that you couldn't really get anywhere else.
Artistic opportunities from pottery to a photographer's darkroom, even a culinary arts room like no other.
We definitely, as students, feel more excited to go to school
knowing that this is the area we're going to be in, this is the environment we get to enjoy and soak in.
Of course, there are a lot of memories in the North Branford School District for a lot of people, so it's not just about starting new. As some of the people come back to see the new building, there's a lot of history sprinkled in here.
North Branford is unique, in my opinion, of those who have gone through here. It really becomes a part of them.
Celebrating their past.
This was a very special place for them, and we want to continue that with this new building.
With a bright, state-of-the-art future for generations to come.
As you walk in, you can see our Thunderbird, which we proudly represented.
Now, saying thank you to a veteran is just the start. Showing your appreciation is what makes our community so special. Students in Winstead are trading the classroom supplies for landscaping tools to spread a little love to a veteran in need.
They're painting, trimming, scraping, and repairing. Putting in a hard day's work for someone who has put in years of service for them.
It feels great to give back to him and to thank him for everything that he has done.
These are Northwestern Regional School District 7 students stepping up for a veteran in need.
I said, for me? You're going to do this for me?
Yes, Leon, this is all for you. Meet 85-year-old veteran Leon Gumlinski, a U.S. Navy airman who served from 1956 to 1960.
I want to thank you, and I'm going to cruise around for a bit, all right?
He fought for our country and is now unable to maintain his Winstead property the way he used to.
I've been doing this all myself, never thought a thing about it. I mean, it was nothing, like having a cup of coffee, you know, but now I need everybody's help.
Tractor guy's going to bring some mulch around.
And boy, have they stepped up, teaming up with the Hamden nonprofit veteran service organization House of Heroes Connecticut to complete a thorough yard cleanup.
We're on our 250th project with House of Heroes, and it's special because not only do we have a unique group of people here volunteering, which is Northwestern High School, but it's Veterans Week. And what better way to come out and serve your community on Veterans Week than with a veteran.
Wow, what a nice job. Wow.
And he couldn't be more grateful, still trying to help where he can.
I have a leaf blower, too, if you need it. Everybody's working. I love it. And thank God for Regional 7.
And leading by example, the district superintendent, Steve LePage, right there alongside them.
Leon's fantastic. He's exactly the reason you do these projects, because it's just to see him, you know, beaming, and he's so grateful.
And they're grateful for him, a true hero who deserves to have a clean property.
I'm happy to help a veteran in order to have a clean yard and just help him have a nice life.
Working hard, making friends.
I want to become a veteran one day. I want to work in the Navy like Leon.
A hands-on approach to learning the true meaning of Veterans Day.
Great students right there. Now, taking learning out of the classroom and onto the trail. Just ahead, how one teacher is taking his lesson to new heights and getting students into the great outdoors. Welcome back, taking the learning to new heights. Go ahead, grab your backpack, but this time leave the books behind. We're going on a hike.
It's an adventure most people may never experience.
I've just always wanted to bring kids up there and experience the magic of being in the alpine zone of the White Mountains.
All it takes is an adventurous teacher and students already reaching for the stars.
I was like, screw it, might as well take it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you have.
Dan Negrelli, teacher at Prince Tech in Hartford and hiking club instructor, got the green light he's been hoping for all these years.
We got approval to do our first overnight backpacking trip.
After hiking Connecticut trails during the school year, he and a group of others capped it off with a few of their strongest student hikers.
Our last hike was, before we went on this trip, was at Sleeping Giant. We had them fill their backpacks with rocks. Just for the weight, the added weight, and then we hiked the trail at Sleeping Giant, and it was fun. They wanted to put more rocks in their backpacks, so I knew they were cut to make the hike.
up Mount Washington. The weather wasn't perfect, but the views,
Beautiful, challenging.
and the teamwork is what makes this one so memorable.
It was a big experience for me to challenge myself and my body to push this to its limits to see how well I can handle on a tough situation like that.
Working together, pushing themselves physically and mentally to new heights.
This trip will certainly be a lifelong memory for me, as well as I hope for the kids.
That one was special. So many great stories of students and teachers doing incredible things. I really enjoy sharing them with you each week. Make sure you keep watching each Tuesday at 6 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. to catch more stories about what's right with schools in our great state. I'm Laura Hutchinson. Thanks for watching.